Hello, everybody. My name is Destiny Bush, and I will be the speaker for our Tips and Tech workshop that is a part of our Easier Said Than Run program. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get started on the presentation that I've prepared for you guys today. So, welcome to Tips and Tech's workshop. One second while I'm trying to. Okay, so we're just gonna have to deal with this little browser down here. I do apologize for that, but let's go ahead and get started. So today we will be discussing what running is, why it is important, the health benefits associated with running, key factors of running, what cross-training is, and why it's beneficial for runners to do, stretching, how to hydrate properly, and what happens if you don't hydrate correctly. So let's go ahead and get started. What is running? So we're all pretty familiar with running, but what is it exactly? Well, running is defined as the action or movement of propelling yourself forward rapidly on foot. Running is enjoyed by millions of individuals across the world, but do we really know what running is? Do we really know the benefits of it? Do we really know how to warm up for it properly? Do we know how to cool down from it properly? Do we know why cross-training can actually help us run better? Do we know any stretches that we need to do before and after running? And do we even know how to hydrate both before, during, and after our running session? Well, today we are going to touch on all those topics. And we're going to get you some information on what running is and all those components for it. Running, it is just more than just a pastime or hobby. Running provides our bodies with a lot of health benefits. So in the next couple of slides, we will take a look at the benefits of running and how to improve our running technique. The health benefits of running. So there are three really big health benefits of running. The first one, it increases our bone strength. So running is considered a weight-bearing exercise that actually helps strengthen the musculoskeletal system when performed properly. So when I say perform properly, I mean from start to finish, from making sure that you are warming up, that you are stretching right, that you are also fit, dressed for the occasion, wearing the right shoes for the occasion, making sure that you are running your form matters, and also how you cool down matters, and all that can go into increasing your bone strength. So the next big topic of the health benefits that running has is that it helps with weight management. So running creates EPOC, and what EPOC is, it is the excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. I know that's a mouthful, so we'll just call it EPOC. So pretty much when we're exercising, we use more oxygen, which causes us to burn more calories. So with EPOC, this is the amount of calories you are actually burning above your resting metabolic rate. So sweating more, your heart racing more, all of that, all the components that come along with doing any aerobic activity, so not even just only running, can definitely help you lose weight because aerobics activities is fat burning. So another big health benefit of running is that it helps improve our mental health. So we have this chemical in our brain known as endorphins. So when we are running, those endorphins are released into our bodies. So basically, endorphins are hormones that block any pain and enable you to experience euphoric feelings. So when we are running, it elevates those levels of endorphins because they are normally released when we're doing strenuous activities. So they won't really be released as much as say you're doing weight training, but definitely when you are doing running. So when you hear the phrase runner's high, this is what it means. Pretty much the chemical is getting released both during and after your run. So what's really important about releasing endorphins, You want to take away that when you develop a really good running program and a consistent running program at that, that increases your levels of endorphins being released into your body, which will dramatically give you an improvement of your quality of health. So let's talk about some key factors of running. It is important to remember some key components when you begin your running session so that you can avoid any possible future injuries. These key factors are picking the correct shoes that are specific for running. So nothing that you would wear for lifting, nothing that you would wear for any other activity that is not meant for running. So you want to make sure you are wearing the right gear for running. You also want to make sure that your shoelaces are not too tight so that they do not affect the blood circulation in your feet. You want to also make sure that you're pacing yourself when you're running. It doesn't matter if you're doing a long run, it doesn't matter if you're doing a short run, just make sure that you're always pacing yourself. And you want to practice proper breathing form and breathing techniques. You want to also make sure that you're wearing appropriate clothing, and you want to really, really add into your routine a good warm up before you run. So that will really play a big factor into your overall running session. And you want to make sure you hydrate before you run, while you're running, and even after you run. So in a few more slides, we will talk about how to properly hydrate. If you have a heart monitor, you want to keep that on you as well, so that way you can make sure you're monitoring and watching your heart rate. You want to avoid consuming any junk food before you run, and you want to engage your core during your running session, as well as perform a cool down phase after your run. So let's talk about cross training. So cross training is very beneficial for any runner to do. It's totally okay to do more than just running. And when I say cross training, I mean things like if you run, you can do yoga, you can bike, you can swim, you can hike, you can weightlift. Cross training is defined as an exercise protocol that utilizes several modes of training that are outside the athlete's main sport to develop a specific component of fitness. It can lessen the chances of sustaining an injury. You can acquire greater aerobic capacity. You'll increase overall strength. You can develop dynamic flexibility, and you can heal faster from certain injuries. So when you're running, you'll find that you'll be in like this repetitive motion of constantly using your legs, cores, and arms in the same pattern. Well, with cross training, you can give your body a different change of pace. Cross training can give your muscles a different emphasis, and when you are preparing your running routine for the week, you should definitely look into altering your hard and easy days to help you maintain a good balance. So what I mean by that is that even though you may run really hard on the track or the trail the day before for day one, day two shouldn't be anything like doing a HIIT workout. Even though HIIT workouts are good and they are really good for EPOC, it should not be so close together. So you could do like maybe yoga the next day, or maybe do weightlifting, or maybe do biking, anything that's not as strenuous as running like you did the day before. You just want to make sure you map out your days properly. So our next slide, we have stretching. So stretching before and after your run is very necessary. Here are some key reasons as to why stretching is important. Number one, stretching before you run helps to warm up your muscles. Number two, stretching before you run can help with lengthening your muscles and give you a longer stride. And number three, stretching after your workout can help with the lengthening and pulling of the muscles that became tight during your run. And I have here some stretches rather that you can do that are really good to do before and after you run. So stretches such as knee hugs, quad stretch, child pose, kneeling hip flexor stretch, seated hamstring stretch, toe touches, wall pushes, downward dogs, and bodyweight calf raises are all great exercises that you can do before and after running. Dehydration and overhydration. This is very, very, very important. So We all know that regardless across the board, even if you are running or if you're just living your normal day-to-day life, it is important that we stay hydrated. Staying hydrated can definitely have a whole lot of health benefits in and of itself. Drinking water consistently, that's why we're told to drink a certain amount every day. Sometimes you may have heard drink, I believe, 8 cups a day, or I was always told about 50 to 60% of your body weight, meaning if you're 100 pounds, then you would drink about 50 to 60 ounces of that weight. So we're always told different rule of thumb for hydration, and running is honestly no different. So when we train for running, we have to remember to stay hydrated. Regardless if it's a short or long run, our bodies need water in order to function. If you do not hydrate properly, you can face health conditions like dehydration and overhydration. So with dehydration is known as the abnormal loss of water and salts essential for normal body functions. The symptoms for this is typically vomiting, extreme thirst, headache, dizziness, fatigue, and confusion. Now, we know about dehydration. We may know a person who have experienced it, or we may have experienced it ourselves, but what about overhydration? Yes, you can overhydrate your body. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you can. So another name for overhydration is water intoxication. This happens when there is an imbalance of fluids in the body, causing your kidneys to hold more fluids than it is able to remove. So the symptoms are pretty similar to dehydration. So whenever you're feeling any of these, you should definitely be on the lookout. So symptoms for this could be headaches, vomiting, muscle weakness, disorientation, fatigue, everything. So it is very, very, very important to maintain a good hydration routine, especially when you are doing long distance runnings for sure, because you want to be very careful and very mindful of your body fluids and your levels and everything. So on the next slide, we are going to talk about kind of a general rule of thumb on how you should approach hydrating yourself. So how to properly hydrate while running. Staying hydrated while running gives your body the fuel it needs to be able to tackle longer distances. It keeps your body temperature cool. Water helps you maintain your blood volume as well. It can be a little complicated on how to properly hydrate because you do not want to experience dehydration or overhydration. So this chart in this presentation gives you a pretty good rule of thumb. So traditionally, the recommendation for hydration during a run is about 17 to, well, it can be from 17 or 16 or 17 to about 24 ounces. So about 2 to 3 cups of fluids. You want to take that 2 to 3 hours before running. When you're 30 minutes before you're about to start your run, you want to drink at least 8 ounces of water, which is about 1 cup. And also, side note, it is okay to drink things like Powerade, Gatorade, putting IV packets in your water, things like that is totally fine as well. Actually, it is totally okay if you do give your body some sort of sugary products as well alongside your water. But every 15 minutes during your running session, you want to make sure that you are drinking 4 ounces or at least a half a cup of water. And immediately after running, you want to make sure you drink at least 16 ounces or 2 cups for each pound you have lost. And like I said, that is a lot to try to remember and it's a lot to try to do. But once you get into the routine of everything and once you get your feet out, once you start running and you get yourself into gear and you really just kind of plan everything out from not only your routine, but how you are also going to hydrate, you'll find that it just becomes second nature to you. So with all that being said, I want to say thank you for joining me today and thank you for watching my presentation on tips and techs. I hope that I answered any questions and I hope that I gave you a little bit of information that you probably did not know or gave you a little bit more information on something that you may have already known. And if you have any questions, any comments, you can email me. Right there is my email and I'd be more than happy to communicate with you and speak with you about anything. So I hope you are having a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.